The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
I don't care if it's been 14 years. I will continue to shout to the heavens until I no longer have breath in my body that Kevin Durant and OKC were robbed of the 2012 NBA championship by a corrupt league doing everything in its power to help LeBron James get his first title so they could market him as the face of the league and have him compete with Michael Jordan as the GOAT. I made a video last year and went into detail why I strongly believe that, and if you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link on the outro at the end of this video for you to check it out. But first, I want to talk about a current ongoing situation where I suspect more foul play from the league to help LeBron yet again. Okay, so we all know LeBron is a free agent in 2026 and plans to play 1 to 2 more years. We've seen insane media bias from both ESPN and FS1 and others associated with Klutch Sports, constantly bloviating how important this decision is for him, and picking the right team could help him get one more championship before he retires at age 42 or 43, depending which year he rides off into the sunset. With all of this media manipulation, it's clear to see that the league wants to help LeBron like they've done throughout the years. So for the last 2 weeks, there's been so much hype and speculation over where LeBron would go play next. And this decision has been dragging out and seems like it should have been decided long ago.
Hey, where are you in this process? Like, as of today, are you still taking pitches? Rich, how many teams would you say are seriously in the mix right now? What piece of information are you still waiting on at this point? Rich, what's your timetable here? If you just could for us tick off then what exactly their priorities are.
So the fact that it's taken so long makes me suspect LeBron and the league are working towards LeBron making one last push, one last desperate attempt to create the illusion LeBron is the GOAT by winning his 5th championship at age 42, 43, depending which year he retires. And then the media will spin the narrative how Michael Jordan was never able to do that. And inevitably, they will start marketing LeBron as the GOAT. Now, of course, this plan is going to backfire in hilarious fashion. I don't see any way LeBron wins another ring unless he goes to New York, OKC, or San Antonio. And none of those teams want him. But nonetheless, LeBron, Rich Paul, and the Klutch Machine are spinning the wheels in their heads trying to devise a plan for a team LeBron could join to snag one last championship, to cement his legacy, and then market himself as GOAT. So they're sitting back and waiting as they watch the moves other teams make before deciding which team would put LeBron in the best situation to win another cheap championship. And many of you already believe that's exactly what's going on, so that's not earth-shattering breaking news, I know. But here's where many of you may not agree. And of course, I am not claiming this to be concrete fact. This is just something I've been mulling over the last few days. Something that came out of nowhere and has very conveniently worked in LeBron's favor. And with all the mystery and lack of transparency, and because of league corruption to help LeBron in the past, is why I feel like my suspicion is justified and why my new theory holds weight. So before I break it down, let me lay out some context and see if it makes a little more sense for you. Okay, so this is what we do know for fact. 1. This century, the Western Conference has been much tougher than the East. LeBron won the Eastern Conference 8 straight years from 2011 through 2018 after building super teams with the Heat and Cavs. But then after joining the Lakers in the West, he only made the finals 1 time in 8 years. So in his last 8 years in the East, he made the finals all 8 seasons. And his last 8 years in the West, only made the finals once. So my point is, LeBron ain't coming back to the West. Guaranteed he's going back to the East. So all that talk about LeBron going to the Warriors or Timberwolves or Nuggets is just a smokescreen to distract that he's plotting to go back to the East, where it's a lot easier to make the finals. Now, of course, the exception to the rule would be if he could join OKC or San Antonio, but of course, neither of those franchises want him. Otherwise, he would be there in a heartbeat. He wouldn't even go home to pack. He would just send his wife a text from the plane. So LeBron is planning to go back to the East. But here's one potential problem LeBron would love to avoid.
Kawhi Leonard checks in the game as LeBron James is shooting a free throw.
That face?
He was not happy about that, Wall. He was not enthusiastic. Now, if I was coming in the game, he would have thrown a parade. And so, the greatness of Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, Kawhi Leonard. LeBron would love to avoid this guy because of how tenacious Kawhi is on defense, which is why he gets agitated when he sees Kawhi enter the game to guard him. This reaction lets you know Kawhi is in this guy's head. LeBron was in his prime in 2013. He was 28 and Kawhi was only 22 and already giving LeBron fits. So my point is this, as I just said, LeBron was planning to go back to the East, but then the Clippers traded Kawhi to the Raptors.
Seems like leaving LA is the theme of the day, as the Clippers have agreed on the framework of a deal with Toronto to send Kawhi Leonard back to the Raptors.
I know that the Giannis Antetokounmpo move was a power move by the Heat, and I think that they're going to have time over the next couple of years to really build around that. But when you talk about something that's actually changed the balance of power in the Eastern Conference, it's this move. The Raptors were this close to making the second round this year. They've got a powerful young player in Scottie Barnes who is ascendant, and they got him a running mate in this trade.
Now, LeBron's already got to figure out how to deal with the Knicks in the East, but his new team should be able to beat everyone else in the East fairly easily, and then he'll hope for the best when he faces New York in the playoffs, which he hopes will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But now Kawhi's going to the Raptors makes another team in the East LeBron may not be able to beat. And if he does somehow manage to beat Toronto in the playoffs, he'll likely have to face the Knicks in the next round and would be totally exhausted after battling a tenacious Raptors team. But there's a very real possibility that with the emergence of young stud Scottie Barnes, who is also a tenacious defender, along with the addition of Kawhi, that the Raptors may be too much for LeBron's new team to handle. And we've seen throughout LeBron's entire career that he evades challenges as much as possible and takes shortcuts to winning. And unfortunately, we've seen the league help him a slew of times.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years.
I have vehemently talked about the blatant injustice from the refs to help Miami beat OKC in the 2012 finals, giving LeBron his first championship and denying the 23-year-old Kevin Durant the coveted title he should have won. But there are also other examples of the league helping LeBron, and this is one that comes to mind. In 2011, the Lakers were trading to get a prime Chris Paul to team up with Kobe Bryant. No doubt that a prime Chris Paul and Kobe would have wrecked the West and embarrassed LeBron and the Heat in the 2012 finals. But instead, Commissioner David Stern vetoed the trade, indirectly helping LeBron. And that vetoed trade reminds me of this.
Hannah, sources tell me that the Clippers-Raptors trade centered around Kawhi Leonard will not be complete until the Clippers are done with their investigation with the NBA.
Just remind people how long this investigation has already been going on.
Hannah, this investigation with the league has been going on for about 10 months.
It's a story that's going to continually develop here. Hopefully, as Sham said, this is 10 months in.
Right.
Hopefully, we're going to get some closure pretty soon on this investigation.
Again, Adam Silver said soon, whatever that means.
And because Adam Silver said way back on June 3rd that it was time to wrap up the investigation, and because there had been no indication from the league that any penalty was coming, the Raptors and Clippers operated as if there was not going to be a significant penalty.
So now suddenly the league wants to investigate if the Clippers were funneling money to Kawhi under the table, even though this story broke in September of 2025, 10 months ago. And Kawhi played the entire season without consequence. Why was he not suspended during the 2025-26 season? But then Kawhi gets traded to the Raptors and shifts power to the East, where I believe LeBron is planning to go. And now suddenly, the league wants to investigate the matter before Toronto and Kawhi could finalize the trade. So of course, the investigation has spooked Toronto Raptors management, and they put the trade on hold until the investigation has concluded. Which raises the question to me, why wasn't this investigation completed a long time ago? So funny that you wait to do your investigation after Kawhi gets traded to the East, and will inevitably become a huge barrier for LeBron and whatever team he joins in the Eastern Conference. Some of you think I'm reaching here, and maybe in due time you'll be proven right. But with the lack of transparency from the league and the terrible officiating and the way Klutch Sports has infiltrated major networks like ESPN and FS1,
LeBron James is better at basketball than anyone I've ever seen.
I just have a hard time trusting nearly anything that's being reported. So you're going to veto the Chris Paul to Lakers trade that would have likely catapulted the Lakers to win the championship that year and perhaps the next several years, which obviously would have severely damaged LeBron's legacy. So you vetoed that trade, but the commissioner allows the sudden and shocking Luka Doncic to the Lakers trade to go through. Didn't veto that trade, huh? Because that trade helped LeBron. And that's my point. The league is always going out of its way to help LeBron. And that is why I am constantly skeptical.
After LeBron James' decision to leave the Lakers on Tuesday,
he has told the Lakers, feel free to move on. He is moving on. He will play next year, but he will not be returning to the Los Angeles Lakers.